Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be starting my next language, tutorials for another language. Now I told you guys this a couple videos ago that I was going to be teaching you a new language. I'm also going to be teaching you Python. I've decided that and I'm not going to completely give that up in making tutorials because Python's really important to a lot of people, not only because it's simple, but it's a good language to start learning from, and then once you have a good grasp of that, which I'm sure many of you who've watched all my videos, you're ready to move on to another language. However, you don't want to keep moving on to every language until you learn all of them. A good thing to probably do would be to learn like a high-level language like Python or Perl, learn Java or something around the same, and then learn something like C or C++, maybe assembly if you're really pro, and stuff like that. But today I'm going to be teaching you guys Java, which is a really good language. It's really popular. It like came out in a big boom around I think in 1995. That's when it gained a whole bunch of popularity out of nowhere. I guess it was a pretty good idea. It's high powered and it's simple to understand. If you know JavaScript, don't think that this is anything like it. I mean, yes, it uses curly braces and stuff like that, but a lot of languages that are scripting and programming share similar syntax, but they're completely different languages, trust me. So what you're going to do when you're defining a new Java file is you're going to say public class and then the class name like this and then curly braces. Now you can also say private instead of public for the class, and there's also some other things you can replace the word class with, but those do other things and we'll get into those later on down the road, so don't worry about those. Once you have your class named, I named mine YouTube, what you're going to want to do is define your main function. Every Java program has to have a main function. I put all of this Java project together as tutorials, so everything here will be in the same file, and they'll be able to share things from each other. So if we make another one, they'll be able to share. But we will only have one main function in Java, and that will be in the original class, which is YouTube. So to do this, it's very simple. What you would do is say public static void main parentheses string args and 0 oops, not s, 0, like that, oops, and then curly braces. Oh, my bad, don't put the 0 in the args, my bad, I was thinking of something different. Anyways, this is what your main the main skeleton of your like core Java file will look like, is something like this. Now static void and public again can all be changed with other stuff, but it will be that will be explained later. Now within these curly braces, after your class, is where all your functions go, and just like that, the curly braces here hold all the code for this function, or as they're called in Python, not Python. In Python they're called functions, but because this is part of a class, just like in Python it'd be called methods. And so everything in here, instead of being called a function, is a method, and all the method code, goes within these curly braces. Now, once you understand all of that, you have your basic hello world script that we can make. What you do is type system.out.print, and you have a couple options. You have print, you have printf, and you have print line. Now, print line automatically appends a \n to it. If you don't know what that is, it's okay. Basically what it means is if you were to print something after this, they wouldn't be on the exact same line. So instead of being side by side, like for example, if you wanted to print hello and then you wanted to print world, but you wanted it to, instead of look like that, you wanted it to look like this, you would use print line. If you wanted to have it just like that, you'd use print or printf. Printf is kind of it's a Java version of the printf from C. So if you know C, you might want to use printf other than print line or print. We will be using these interchangeably, so you're going to want to get comfortable with all of them, but they all pretty much work the same way. So we're going to be making the three of them right here. So system.out.println, we'll start with this one, and then you put quotations like that. Then you say enter some text here, and then you end the line with a semicolon after the parentheses here. Now, a lot of languages that are not high level will ask for a semicolon. Perl, I believe, also does. I'm not sure. I haven't used Perl in a long time, but I'm pretty sure that also calls for semicolons. Python, however, does not. Next we have the system.out.printf, which allows us to give it arguments. Now, because we don't have any arguments, we have nothing to give it. And so if we were to do enter text here, oops, go like that, then we can make another. So basically what I'm saying is you don't have to put the arguments there, but if you're going to use the C formatting for print, you would want to put those args there and use some other things that I'll teach you later. The last one, oh my bad, I also forgot something up here in the printf. We want to do a \n, and if you don't know what that is, it's okay, I'll go over these later, but basically it makes a new line like I was talking about earlier. The last one is system.out.print, and here we can just say whatever we want, enter text here, and again with this one you have to put \n as well, just so that you make it so there's a, like, basically it presses enter after it prints something out. Now this is our little print. We can save, press, I'm not sure if you guys can see this all, yeah, right there. Don't want to mess with you guys a little too much, but there it is, this little play button. If you're using Eclipse at least, if not you can probably just compile this in your command prompt. If you guys don't know how to do that, if you don't know how to do that, I'll teach you how. Anyways, as you see down here in this little corner, it says enter some text here, enter text here, and enter text here. That's from the three print statements that we had up here. Now, if you've came from a language like Python or Perl or something high level, you're probably used to using quotations and apostrophes interchangeably. But if we go over this little X here, it says invalid character constant. What it means is that a string can only be defined with quotations. The little apostrophes are used for something completely different, and we probably won't be getting those for a while. So when you print, you cannot use single quotations. You have to use double quotations. So thank you guys for watching. That's pretty much the basics. Mess around with printing a little bit. See what happens when you leave these out. You shouldn't really notice anything. Maybe a couple errors if you start taking things out, but experiment around with it and find out what makes it kind of do what it does. Change the text in here if you want to see like what the other ones does, what the other ones do. Leave out the \n because we'll be going over those soon. And yeah, so if you guys have any questions, leave those in the comment section below. If you like the video, subscribe and like the video as well, or favorite it. That always helps me. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll be seeing you guys later.